Hi, I'm Angela Clark, and I want to thank you for visiting my site today. It's brand new, and it's called The Art of Healthy Relationships. You know, communication is so important, and without it in life, we don't do well, we don't thrive well, and we don't feel good about things because eventually relationships break down because of the lack of communication. Like, for example, you might hold things in that you don't want to hold in, but you don't know how else to be. You don't know how to speak and say what's in your heart, what's bothering you, what's on your mind, and that just kind of goes into every aspect of life. You'll find it in work, and you'll find it at church. You'll find it it doesn't matter where. You're going to find that you don't get out of your heart what's hurting, and you just stuff all that stuff. And for that reason, I wrote a book. I'm an author of Awakening from Unconscious Resentment. It's a really heartfelt book that I hope is going to help a lot of people. Just shows you how to get your voice, how to say no when you mean to say no instead of, yeah, I'll do that, kind of thing. It's very painful in life when we don't know how to say what we're feeling. And so I want to share all that in this whole website here, providing videos and podcasts and things like that. Anything that I can think of, I'm going to read chapters from my book, anything I can think of that's going to help bring out the best that each of us could possibly be, because there's great helpful tools that really helped me, at least. I'm going to share all that. Like, for example, first book I got when I got out of a really hurtful relationship was called Boundaries. And I was so drawn to this book. And when I read it, my brand new friend called Dan, who eventually became my husband, he said, Angela, aren't you going to put in action those things you just read in that book with your mom right there? And I'm like, are you kidding me? And so I'm going to say something to her about that? And he goes, yeah. So I had to speak to it. And it was not pretty. I'm going to just tell you, it was painful because I wasn't used to doing that, and they weren't used to me getting my voice and speaking and saying what I needed and what I wanted. And it was very uncomfortable for everyone involved. But I felt better about myself. It's like as if I respected myself, like I mattered, like my feelings mattered. Well, you know what? Your feelings matter. And what you believe and what you think matters. What I believe, what I think matters. And so if that's true, and it is, then we have to learn how to communicate that. It's so important, or we don't have happy lives. Matter of fact, you know what? When we don't speak to that stuff, it turns into resentment, and resentment makes frown faces, and then that becomes angry or bitter, actually, and then anger, and then hatred, and then that turns murderous even. We have murderous thoughts towards somebody, wishing somebody dead, even speaking things like that. That's how bad it can get. It can really ruin our lives and sour us. We don't want that in our lives. So I got to learn through 12-step groups, doing the work, doing everything that they said to do, and reading some great books. Another one was Codependent No More by Melody Beatty. That was definitely one of the best books I ever read. I read some other ones like Toxic Parents. I think Toxic Parents. That was really helpful to me. There's lots of great books out there that just really helped me in classes that I took and, seminars, whatever, that had to do with building healthy relationships. So I've got an arsenal here for you that I know you're going to enjoy it. I'll be reading some chapters from my book. I'll be reading other people's books. I'll be doing some podcasts. I'll be doing all that anything I could think of that's going to help you, sayings, encouragement, all of that kind of thing. So I just hope that you enjoy my page. This is important, you guys, and I'm so glad to help. I really am. I've been married now 16 years to Dan Clark, a wonderful guy. He just loves me, and I love him, but I had to learn how to stand up and say what I needed and what I wanted. And, he believes that is what made our relationship was beautiful, because I wasn't going to tolerate anything in my life that was not going to be making me feel good. So I had to learn to say, no, I will not tolerate that, whatever it is that you don't want in your life. And don't talk to me in that way, or whatever it is that you don't like. You have to speak to it. So I'm going to teach you how to do that the best I can, and how to get the guts to do it, and how to get the courage, and take the control back in your life so that you have a life that you really want to live, and that you have a reason to live. The life has a meaning and purpose and joy in it once again. So anyway, I hope that you'll enjoy this site. In fact, I know that you will. I hope you'll visit often. And by the way, if you've got some good videos or whatever you can put out on this site that would help people to do better in life, sayings, thoughts, videos, I don't care what it is, post them here, please. I want you to feel like you're part of this whole thing. This is not just my show. I want it to be our show, our community that we share together. So thank you so much. And one last thing is I do have a website called angelasinspirations.com. You might check it out sometime. I wasn't satisfied with that website because it didn't have the place where I could put this kind of stuff on it. I mean, it's not inspirational necessarily to speak about your divorce or bad feelings, right? That's not really inspirational. So I'm so glad to have this site, this page now that will help me to express the things that I've been holding in that I need to get out. And again, to talk about that new book. So I thank you for that. And then my husband is an ex-Jehovah's Witness, and I'm an ex-worldwide cult member. Dan was in the cult, Jehovah's Witness cult. So we've got two pages, sites. Dan's got prodigaljourneys.com that talks about the ex-Jehovah's Witness, how to get out, the steps to preparing yourself to get out, that kind of thing. So you have an ex-Jehovah's Witness that you think you might be able to help with that. Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of stuff there, a whole bunch of videos on YouTube under Life After Religion. So Dan's got a YouTube page and as well as a Facebook page that's Life After Religion, chock full of stuff. In the prodigaljourneys.com, it's got a bunch of resources, books, movies, CDs, you name it, websites galore that can help people who've been in cults. So that could also help your Jehovah's Witness friends. And I'm just beginning to put my little list together, and which will have some of the same movies and whatnot in it that Dan's got on his, since I put that together actually. So anyway, I thank you again for joining me. I hope you'll find a lot of comfort, a lot of hope from this site, and I want to thank you again for joining me. Thank you. Thank you again. Bye.